Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Terry and I am a full-time eBay seller. I love to go to estate sales and garage sales and pick up things that I can flip on eBay for a profit. If you saw my video a few videos ago of me picking up that haul of models, I'm starting to sell those now. I believe we have over 100 listed now, and we have sold 10 of them so far in this past week. So I picked up close to 2,000 models. So in that lot were binders full of vintage model decals. There were also books in there, and then there were real random things like a glass cutting thing. There were soldering irons. There were these really cool tools from Japan. So I have well over 2,000 things to list. But the first 10 things that I have listed were not cherry picked. They were just random because we threw everything on the shelf. And then when we go to list, we just pull out a stack. And so out of those 10 items, the lowest selling model sold for $8.50. And the highest selling one was $140. I paid $4,000 for this lot, so I have roughly $2 into each one. So I sold my first 10 models for $344. That is an average of $34 per model. I only need to sell roughly 124 models before I make my $4,000 back. So it's really exciting that I have that many models to sell. So I wasn't sure at first how I was going to do on these. My brain was telling me that I was going to do really good, but of course putting out $4,000 is always pretty scary. But now I know for sure I am going to do so well on these models. I'm very, very excited. So I already did ship out, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've already shipped out, but I just wanted to give you an update and the stats on what's going on with all those models. So the ones that I still have that I haven't shipped out and that I didn't show you last week are these 4 right here. And so these 2 were identical. And then we have this little one right here. And then we have this big giant Boeing one. This is the one that sold for $140. I got a little bit scared when I started looking through some of them because whoever owned these before opened almost every single one of them. And then they closed it back up. So they would take the plastic off, which would make it not new anymore. So I'm listing all of them open box. And then sometimes whoever owned them would open up the box, cut the plastic, pull out the parts and put them back in, put everything back in and close it. I'm not sure why they opened every single one, but they did. But they are still all complete. There are some that are not, but not very many. Most of them are complete, just an open box. So enough about that. Let's go on to what else sold. This Walt Disney book, Uncle Remus Stories. Somebody reached out and said that their husband used to read this book to their kids, and she was going to surprise him for Father's Day and give this to him so he can read it to his grandkids. I love it when customers reach out and tell me a little story. It's awesome. So I paid $1 for this and I sold it for $44. I picked this up at a thrift store I had never been to. I was with my friend at an estate sale and we decided to go to this thrift store that was down the road that we had never been to. They're called Red, White, and Blues. I think they're a chain. They may have them where you live. This is a KitchenAid accessory and I paid $12 for it. Somebody purchased it for $43. I purchased 4 of these. This is the 3rd one that I've sold. It's funny because even though it has the model number, I sold the same one twice and it got returned twice. So then I decided, since it was open, because they weren't open before, that I would go ahead and take a picture of all the parts because apparently they weren't the right parts for their door. As soon as I did that, I sold them. So I only have one more left after this. I paid $5 each for them and they're selling for $40. I just showed one just like this. In my last video, I had no idea, or I didn't remember that I had two of them, and I'm sure I got them at two different sales. So this one I paid $10 for and it sold for $22. So this is Earring Magic Barbie software pack. So there's some old software in there. I've had these for over a year and they both sold within a week from each other. I purchased both of these little unopened Beatrix Potter books. I knew they weren't going to sell very high, but I had to grab them because they are just so adorable. Little tiny books. I paid $4 for both of them and they sold for $20. So as you know in my other videos, my dear friend Estella, who is a reseller, we talk almost every single day. We met at an estate sale about 4 years ago, and it is just so nice to have another reseller friend that you can meet at an estate sale or at least text and talk to almost every day. She is the one who told me about these caribou made by Cranium. Now you will see Cranium games at the Goodwill and at garage sales all the time. I can't remember what they're called, but you definitely need to look for the caribou ones because those others just don't sell. So this is the most I've ever paid for one. I paid $15 for this. I usually pick them up between $3 and $5, but this one sold in just a couple days for $80. And it is used, but all the pieces are there. It's in excellent condition. I don't think this got played much. So keep your eyes open for the caribou. I sold this Bible. It is a red letter edition. It's from 1967. It's in excellent condition for the age. I paid $2 for it and it sold for $45. Last summer, toward the end of the summer, I picked up a whole bunch of brand new sealed Marvel figures. I kind of paid up for him. He wanted around 3 times as much as I had paid, but I showed him that they just weren't selling for that much. So he sold them to me cheaper in a lot. So I ended up paying $13.25 for each one. Some are selling for more than this one and some are selling for a little bit less. I did get a Spawn figure out of it that I do have listed, I think for $150. So that was the best one of the bunch. But this one sold on sale for $31.47. So this is another model I sold. This brand is Italerie, I think is how you say it. And this is a junker plane, it's called. And this one sold for $15 and I roughly have about $2 into each one. And this one is made by Heller. The same buyer got this one and they paid $10 for this one. And this one is made by Revell and this is a bomber plane and this one sold for $25. And here is the other door knob that I had sold a few days ago and it also sold for $40. Here is a 1992 Rockette Barbie that I paid $5 for and it sold on sale for $27. So this model right here, I did not get from my big buyout. I did actually pick it up from a garage sale the week before. I had picked up about 10 or so. This one I paid $10 for. And it sold for $110. And then this one is a little bit smaller that I bought at that same sale and the same buyer bought this one. I paid $5 for this one and this one sold for $30. So he spent $140 for both of these models plus shipping because as you know, I never do free shipping. So this Dimensions Vintage Embroidery Kit, I paid $3 for this and it's just been sitting there. It hasn't had any attention, so it did go on sale. So somebody purchased it for $10.40. I love picking these up. I will always pick them up. And then this one was purchased by the same person. It is made by Paragon and I paid $2 for this one and this one sold for $24.50. I have had these Winnie the Pooh pillowcases for a very long time. I paid a lot for them. I paid $5 each, so I have $10 into them, and they both just sold for $25.60. This is a Vision Tech graphics card. I'm assuming it goes to a computer. I pick up things sometimes and I don't know exactly what they're for, but I'll run the comp on them and they seem to be doing good, so I'll pick them up. So I paid $12 for this and I sold it for $45. I don't think I've had it for that long either. It sold pretty fast. So I went to a sale not too long ago and purchased a whole bunch of creative memory stuff. They were obviously sellers of creative memory and they were selling their house, needed to get rid of all of their stuff. They had hundreds and hundreds of pieces of creative memory, but I grabbed all of the albums. And so I did pay up for them, but that's okay. I knew they would sell. So I sold 2 of these to the same buyer. I paid $10 each for these, so I have $20 into this, but they sold for $90 for both of them. And here is another model. It is made by Airfix, and this one sold for $8.47. So I definitely will have some that are on the lower end, but I'm still okay with that because the average looks like it will be around $30 to $35. I picked up these Apple DVD blank discs from an estate sale for $2.50. I had 8 of them. Somebody just purchased them all. I have $20 into them and they paid $107.76. So keep your eyes open for these types of things. People still want them. Here's the last model of all of this week's sales, and this one sold for $16. This one was made by MPM. I have never heard of that company. And then my last item is another one of these red books. They are canning jar books, and I have sold 4 of them so far, and they were all a little bit different prices. The ones that are left, I think, are priced more like $50 or $70. So I paid $5.55 for each one, and this one sold for $25. Apparently, there is a demand for these because these sold very, very quickly. We will see how well these more expensive ones sell. These actually have the writer's signature in them, so they are going for a bit more. So anyway, I'm excited about these. So if you see canning jar books, pick them up because I have others that I have sold too that I got at this same sale. And then I went to a garage sale and I saw a couple more and I picked those up. I have those listed. So apparently people still want these older canning jar books. So thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you like this video, and go ahead and hit that bell if you want to be notified for my next video. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. It won't notify you if you don't want to be notified for my next video. It just really helps me out. And I will see you on the next video.